Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews, where today I'm looking at Ecosfera. I'm thinking it's Ecosfera, but I'm not sure how that would be pronounced. Why not just sphere? Ecosfera. I don't know. The name doesn't matter, it's the gameplay that matter. I'm British now. It's not the gameplay that matters. It's not the title that matters, it's the gameplay. Let's get it to the table and see if maybe I don't mumble all my words. Alright, Ecosfera. It's becoming a joke on its own that I'm actually having difficulty saying it. I'm gonna show you how I would set it up for a solo game. That's just how I'm going to set it up. I feel like that's easiest to do. So let me start off here. So all of these down here. And then just the disasters here. Doesn't matter to shuffle those. Alright, get out the animal cards and the here are the plant cards, so shuffle those up. And I'll just place them above here. And I'll do the animal cards, shuffle those as well. Place them here, and then above it all I would put these tiles and the extension tiles. Then I get out these right here, and hopefully they're actually at the top here. Yes, so there's this symbol, and this symbol. Each player should have one for the solo player again. Just put it right there. You also should take out these leaves cards. I'll explain what they're used for later. I don't use them. I don't feel the need for it, but I'll tell you. So yeah, basically I would be sitting right here to play. Flipping over the top 4 cards of each of these, of course. Cute little turtle there. Snail. Damn. Each player will start off with one of each of these and 2 disasters, which you will then shuffle up to form a deck, which I would place right there. Then as you start the round, you will flip over 3 cards. There you go. And with these cards here, sorry about that, that was very loud and maybe ruined my ring. You could buy the plant cards here. You see down here what they cost. It's 2 water and a sun, 2 suns and a wind, 2 suns and time, water, time, wind, and what is that? Flooding, clouding. I can't remember what they're all called. And the way we do it, I'll probably take these one down a little bit, is you indicate which one you want to buy by pushing up the ones that you have. So in this instance, I'm going to put up sun and water because I wish to buy this one, but it costs 2 water. Well, I can always take, if I'm missing one of the things I need, I can always take it from the deck and add it down here. Now, depending on play count and stuff, you will actually remove some of these so you don't have all of them in play. That's a little bit of a limitation. That is in the rulebook. So now I have 2 water and a sun, so that's enough to buy this one. I will add it to my line down here, which you can't see because it's too far over, so let's move the camera. Now I have it. Now I could use it right away if I wanted to. It does have an ability. It also has some symbols up here. I'll tell you about that. But for now that would be probably my first turn. You will of course refresh here. So remove those and next person's turn or just my turn again. We quickly tell you, because all the cards also have them, what these do. So let's start with the simplest ones here. This is refresh. Basically means you get to discard all the 4 cards from either the plant or the animal side, discard them out, draw up 4 new ones. And then you would flip it face down to showcase that you've used it. You have the plus symbol here, allows you to draw an extra card. So maybe it's something useful. That's a disaster, so that's a very terrible thing. And last one here allows you to, if you're multiple players, you can send a card to your one of your friends, so they can use it in their next turn. Or you get to, in a solo play, you could do it to yourself, or I could say, well, this one, I want to have that next turn, so now it's ready for my next turn. And this is also how you get rid of cards. So if you have too many cards, it's also how you discard them. This one, every card just goes into the bottom of their respective piles. Now the goal of the game is to assemble all of these right here. All of these, of course, represented on each card, like this one. So you see that's the blue and the purple. So it would be these two. But you don't use the plants to get them, you use the animals. So when you have two plants with the same symbol, let's just do these ones here. You see both of these have the orange symbol. So let's say I drew those up on my turn. Let me just remove these actually. Say I had bought those and now it's my turn, so I draw up those two and some, let's set this after a random card. I could then use these two plants to purchase this card here. It's a Mandua Tetradactyle, because it has the orange down here. You could also buy the red or the purple with it. Then let's say I also had this one, and in a later turn I drew these two. Bam. And I went, yeah. I can then use these two, because both of them, as you can see down here, have the orange symbol. In this case they actually have the same three symbols, so these would be perfect cards to get a hold of. But I could use these two to then create the orange one. Now you put this some random place on the table, just over to the side. So yay! I could also use them to make the red and the purple one, of course. You could assemble like this. But you can only do one at a time. You can only do one at a time. That's important. I do the orange now, hope to draw them later. If you assemble all of these, you've won. So yeah, you just go through and try to get all of them. Many of them have multiple symbols, all of that. If at any point you can't do anything, let's just try and create something where I can't do anything. Let's see, is this a situation where I can't do anything? Just say that I've spent both of these, just for the sake of it. As you can see here, I have these two. Well, I can actually technically do something with this. So let's say this was what I drew up, right? With this, I can't purchase any cards or any of the hexagons. What this would mean that I would have to take a disaster card and add it to my deck. If at some point in the future I am so unlucky to draw up 3 disasters at the same time, then I would put in a extinction tile, is what they call it. And again, if all extinction tiles are used, then, well, you lose the game. Now there's one other way to add a disaster card to your hand. I just need a refreshing of that, because it almost never happens, at least not in our games of it. Where the heck does it say that? That's difficult to find, apparently. Jesus fucking Christ. That's difficult to find. But it depends on how many of the same symbol you have. And I believe it's, if you have 3 of the same symbol out, you take another disaster card. I can't remember, I can't find a rulebook, and it happens extremely rarely. Now one thing that I have mentioned is how to get these back. Is it one-time use, or are they used throughout the game? Well, in a situation, let's say I just bought a card from up here and I need to refresh it. So I draw out this card, which is purple, and put it down, and this card also has purple. So now you have 2 purples up here. You get to refresh one of them. So whenever you have some that match, you get to refresh one of these ones here. I would personally refresh that one. It's better in my opinion, but yeah. Now if you want to add this expansion here, Ecosfera expansion, it's quite simple. So it adds 3 cards, both plants, and animals, which add this symbol here. And it adds an entire deck of extra rules, which you put into your deck so at some point it's drawn out. So it takes up space, but also could activate to do something good or something bad. It could also be one-time skills. It's all kinds of rules. And the way you get it is if you put out one or more of either of these tiles on your turn, then you draw one, or if you have this symbol here, you can also draw one. And yeah, it is various effects. It's a very thick deck, and that's how you add the expansion to it. So that is how you play Ecosfera and its expansion. That is how we play Ecosfera. It is a cooperative game, or I've played it mostly solo a little bit. It's actually a game I've actually played solo, and I think it's best at solo, and I don't like it that much. Let's talk about the gameplay. And then the gameplay here, it is obviously deck building, where you're quite limited on 3 cards only, but you can do more if you purchase the right cards. One thing I always hate in deck building is when you accidentally make your deck just too full of shit. You can't really do anything. In this game, you're forced to do it, because if you don't do something every single turn, then you get disaster cards, and disaster card can spell the end of the game. You lose. So you have to always buy something, and if you can't buy what you need, then you're gonna have to buy something you don't need. So we end up with a stacked deck with a fully stacked deck that just most turns you can do something. So very quickly get to that one. So it's almost sort of limited when you play it solo. When you play multiple people, you can spread it out and be like, yo, you go for the green, I go for the blue, you go for the purple. You know, let's try and do this. And it's a lot more important to be capable of throwing out cards, right? If you're on a turn, you approach a new card, you can use this ability right away, get rid of this card or something. But yeah, it's just one of those deck builders where you fill your deck up way too much, and you can't really do anything on your turns all of a sudden. So I don't enjoy that. I do like the symbolism of it. You know, you need the right elements to get these cards, and then these cards access the animals, and once you have the plants and the animals, then you have a good ecosphere. Why they didn't call it that, I still don't know. Ecosphere. And then you can put it into your end game thing, tiles up there. Of course, I love the lockers. You need the symbols at the right time, at the same time, you know. I did have some of the mushrooms and the plants, which can negate the animals. An interesting little thing. I always try to go for that. It's very rare that I get to do it, because again, you just need so much luck in the way that you draw, because you only draw 3 cards, plus 1 maybe, and then do you have any abilities, or have you just drawn up, you know, or is that one the third freaking, or the third freaking disaster that spells, oh no, we're closer to losing now. So I didn't find it too enjoyable in that, and that's basically all the game is just building up your deck to be capable of doing new things. I didn't find it overly enjoyable. I did like the abilities that were in place to, you know, draw an extra card or refresh a page, or to throw out a card if they were there on enough cards that you actually got to use it. Whereas in some cards, in some deck builders, you very rarely get to use specific powers and stuff. Here, it's a very big part of the game, and the little tokens you have, they will very quickly be reactivated, because you will quickly have 2 of the same kind in either row. So in that way, it does something very good there. The expansion, I don't really think adds something. You add this thing with multiple rules, and most of them are just aren't that interesting, or very circumstantial, or you have one of each, or something. It's like, again, you just need more luck to be capable of using them, or you have some situation where, you know, players might lose some cards, but you're cooperatively working on this one, so you might actually just destroy the game for one of your friends in this one. You're not competitors, so the expansion doesn't really add much. Start components, which of course involves artwork as well. Component wise, you have a fine, thick enough cardboard, right? The thing you can easily get with such a small game is too thin cardboard. I don't think you have that in here. In terms of the artwork, it is a very simplistic style, which works for it. Very much like it's the same style that one of my friends makes on her Instagram. This sort of, I feel like it's a very straight, right? Sure, it is rounded and stuff, but it's sort of straight. Like the entire plan is to make this hexagonal shape, right? And I feel like that goes into the artwork as well. So it's quite thematic artwork, and the cards, good quality cards. And as I said, the cardboard has a good enough thickness to it that it isn't easily broken or something. It's good. It's good components that are in this game. The theme, obviously, I love these themes of animals and stuff. Don't feel like it very much comes through here. There is, of course, the thing, you need the plants and you need the animals, then you have an ecosphere. But in the end, it's just, I need greens, I get the green, yay. It's you know, I need these cards down here to get these cards, to get these cards, to get this hexagon, right? I don't feel like the theme is shining through, and not with the refresh, not with the throw out, not with the draw another card or something. The only real thing is this thing with the plants and the mushrooms, where these can work together to create a really healthy area, where normally it's plants and animals to create a healthy area. But I don't feel like the theme is really shining through in this one. So a little bit of a downer on that one. So, does it lie to you? So it says right here, actually, 45 to 60 minutes, 1 to 4 players, 8 and up. Usually 8 and up, I would say, sure. I mean, this is just about matching colors, so and symbols, so it should be quite easy to understand. And you can do a few modifications to make it easier for a child to get right. You could do that. 1 to 4 players, sure. Again, I probably play at a 3 or 4, because then you don't get it's easier to control your deck. I think at solo you have to go through every single thing to make the most of your actual deck. It's one thing I can actually talk about solo, and also talk about why I don't like solo, because everything is on your shoulders. You don't have friends where you can, hey, I need you to take care of this. So yeah, 45 to 60, probably fairly accurate, 45 to 60 minutes, yeah, fairly accurate time frame for people who know the game. A teaching game is always longer, of course, but fair enough there. So, the final score that I am going to give Ecosfera, or Ecosfera, I don't know how to pronounce that, it's going to be 6 out of 10. It is just above that 5, it's just about the average rating and stuff. What really draws it down is this thing with the deck building, which I think doesn't quite work, because you just fill your deck up very much, and you have this disconnect between the themers. It doesn't really matter. You could have done some things to maybe make it matter and make it a little bit more fun. But there are also some good things. The abilities to show up enough for you to utilize them in a proper way. The artwork is very nice, and in the end, it is a good thing with the plants and then the animals, and then this one. But it also works to prolong the games. It's both. I sort of like it, but also there's some bad things about it. So a 6 out of 10. The expansion, which I just don't think adds much, I'm gonna give it a 5. It's just gonna be middle of the park, where it's like, if you like the game, probably get that little expansion, but it doesn't really make the game better or worse. So it's a 5 out of 10. And that is, well, the question is, am I keeping it? No. My group barely plays cooperative games. This is not the kind of game that's going to make us play cooperative games, so it's a no in terms of if I keep it. It's probably going to be sold. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.